Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another monster video. So in today's video, back with our monster review, we have the free PvP monster here at rank 2 level 120, and today I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the best skills, the best rune setup, and everything you need to know about this new free monster. So I hope you guys are excited. If you are, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. Anyways, let's go and get started. So here we have the free PvP monster at 120, and here are the stats at 120 by the way. You get 20,930 power, 570,284 life, and 13,507 speed. Let's take a look at the traits. Traits are important, right? So you have immune to daze, which is complete garbage. Unfortunately, you have tuned as well, so it regains 15 stamina points every time somebody hits him with like a nature or thunder element. And then you have this Slash Gusher Self Precision, so that's just for himself, but I'd rather have the other accuracy. So there's two types of accuracy. One is True Vision, the other one is Self Precision. I like True Vision more, but because precision is basically doubled, which is a lot better. But let's take a look at the skills here, because skills are important. You have a low stun. It's an AoE low ton of damage stun, basically. So I'm assuming he's going to be a denier. Let's see. You do have a moderate nature damage and applies vulnerability to everybody. So the vulnerability is to everybody, but the moderate nature damage is only to one enemy. Keep that in mind. Let's take a look at what we have here. Drake Jolt, which is a very low ton of damage to one enemy, applies stun to an enemy, gives one extra turn to itself. So you do have a single target stun, which actually gives you an extra turn as well, which is kind of nice. You do have another. Oh, this is another extra turn. Look, very low turn damage to one enemy, applies shock to one enemy, gives one extra turn. So the shock, I mean, you could probably use that to like stop extra turners, I would say. So if you go up against like Voltaic or something, any type of Voltaics really, they're all extra turners, or any other extra turners in general, you apply shock to them. If they don't have torture immunity, you can basically stop them from turn transferring, or not really turn transferring, but like using extra turns. But you do have a AoE shock. This isn't something I would go with. Precision and life regen, honestly, here's the thing, this monster is okay for beginners, but in the competitive scene, no one is going to use this monster at all. I understand that he has 2 extra turn skills, but keep in mind, those 2 extra turn skills don't really do much. You know what I mean? Like, shock, okay, really? Stun, there's monsters better than that. But anyways, trait-wise, not the best. But again, it's good for beginners, I would say. So if any beginners out there watching this, go ahead and pick him up. Start using him in your team. For the amulet, I kind of want to go with something that actually, like, I'm just gonna go with this one actually. This amulet is really nice. Yeah, I like that amulet a lot. So I'm gonna go with that. But you can really go with anything. For the staff, you could go with something that will generate your stamina. That's really important. So this monster, I'm gonna give it like a level 5. Let's give it a level 5 speedrun. So what I would recommend doing is going in with triple speed, make this monster super fast. But here's the thing, you also want to make sure another monster takes in the turn before this guy, so that you can basically clear the path for him. You know what I mean? Like trait disabling, removing positive status effects. Shadow Yuna does that. Cannon 11 does it as well. So those monsters will be a good pair up for this guy. So just make sure that he takes in second turn and not first. So you might have to go with like 1 team speed 2 speed, or 2 team speed 1 speed. You know what I mean? Play around with those. But anyways, we took care of the relics, skills, traits, everything else. The ultimate is called Draconian Therapy, which is a massive ton of damage to all enemies, applies Mega Stun, Toxins, and Shock. I do like the ultimate, but again, he's more of a denier than an attacker. You know what I mean? So like that massive ton of damage, I don't know how much damage that's going to deal unless you're actually going to give him some strength runes, run him as an attacker. Some deniers you can actually run as an attacker, by the way. Keep that in mind. Like we've seen it in the past with Teddy Bomb, for example. You know what I mean? Players have done it. Now what we're going to do is head over to adventure map and probably go with a random, probably like right here. Sure, let's go with this. Hopefully they're not immune to stun. Nope, they're not. So I do want to give a huge shout out to Bunky, by the way, for letting me borrow her account to review this monster for you guys. It should be right here at 120. Did I skip it? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we got our denier, we got our tank. Now you need someone that will take in the turn before anyone else and open up the path, right? So that would be Cannon 11. Now, if you don't want to go with Cannon 11, you could go with someone else, obviously. But yeah, just make sure it takes in the first... Maybe we should get rid of that amulet. That amulet is too OP. Okay, now obviously you would want to go with something like this, but I'm gonna remove it because it kicks in at the start of battle, and these monsters are just too weak to... It's just too weak, you know, they're just too weak. We don't want to deal with that. None of them are immune to stun. Okay, cool. Cool. I mean, even if they are, we do have a monster that will basically open up the path for us and trade disable them like this. So something to keep in mind. I'm gonna trade disable you, charge up, and now that he gets a turn, look, so once the path is clear, there's no monsters with like immune to control, immune to stun, or anything like that, you know what I mean, that's blocking his way, that's blocking his path. You can go ahead and deny them using this skill right here. So what basically that does is that when they get the turn, they basically lose a turn. They won't be able to attack. Now again, this is the shock skill, so you can go ahead and apply that torture, get an extra turn. And Merc Staff did kick in and basically eliminate, so that made it a lot easier. Let me go up against this one. What is this? Oh, epic monsters. Okay. So this one, for example, they are not immune to stun at all, so you can basically just stun it straight away if you want. He does have a AoE vulnerability skill as well. It's a 30% power. So basically you deal damage and then you apply vulnerability to them. What vulnerability does is that it basically makes your attacks stronger against them. Basically it makes the enemies weaker against your attacks, let me tell you that. It's kind of nice. Vulnerability is kind of nice, and it also helps with like tortures. If like you stack up a bunch of tortures and they have vulnerability, that actually helps out a lot. So here, if you want to do this instead, where you just stun one turn, right, get the extra turn, let's say, and then next turn you want to apply vulnerability to them, you don't have to worry about these ones, you can go ahead and do that. So as you can see, vulnerability is applied. We do have drown on it, and stun is also applied. So let me go ahead and give it a turn in. You guys will see what will happen here. So he gets a turn, but he loses it, and thanks to vulnerability, 191k damage from the torture, just the drown torture. So we don't have to really trade table anything for this monster. Okay, so since it was recently stunned, we can't really stun it again. I'm gonna go ahead and apply a torture to it. We're gonna do this just for the damage, and then we could do this for damage again. Oh look, wait, hold on, you know what I just noticed? Look at this. Look at this skill right here. So shock therapy, right? Stun. You can use shock again, but unfortunately I don't think you could do stun again. Imagine, because you could like just cycle between, but no. So you can only do shock, stun, shock, and then one of these skills, I would say. Okay, whatever. I kind of want to try the stun shock combo instead of shock stun, if that makes sense. So this is what I mean right here. Look, so normally we started with this, but I want to start. Oh, yeah, it's not gonna work out because it's a 2-turn cooldown. Look, so we do this, right? Then we do this, and it's still gonna be on cooldown, pretty sure, because it's a 2-turn cooldown. Yeah, so it's best to do the shock, stun, and then shock, and then you can go ahead and use another skill on top like that. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and mega stun you. Mega stun's a lot better than normal stun, by the way. So we'll do this. We'll do this, and finally, when we get the turn here, we finish it off. So what do I think of him overall? I would say there are better deniers out there than this monster. So if you were thinking about purchasing the battle pass, I think there's still a discount going on, if I'm not mistaken. No? Okay. But anyways, let's say if you were thinking about it, or you already purchased it and you weren't sure whether or not you should actually grind this monster. Well, I wouldn't really know, unless maybe for book purposes where you can get some extra rewards from the books. But other than that, he's not going to be used in the competitive scene, let me tell you that. For beginners, he is a good monster though. Okay, I mean, for beginners, almost any monster is really good. But yeah, these extra turns will definitely help you, you know, win those battles. Applying vulnerability, dealing damage like that, it's nice. And he's double element too, but then that double element is also bad for him because the nature against a fire meta right now, which is Serpentix Cupid, so he's not going to survive, unfortunately, on PvP. Maybe even Team Wars actually too, but especially PvP. But that's going to be pretty much it for today's monster video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, let me know in the comments below your thoughts and opinions on this mythic monster. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next one. Peace out.